Alright, what's up YouTube? My name's Jordan, and this is my first time posting on this channel in a while, but I wanted to make a mewing transformation for a long time now because it's been a big part of my life. Not really many people have been aware that this is something I've been doing. They've just sort of like assumed that I became more good looking or grew up or went through puberty or whatever, but I'll show you guys my journey over the last 5 years and how I got there. Let me pull this up. Okay, so this is August 2021 and then December 2022. This is just a 1 year difference, and this is when I started really getting it, like learning how to mew and like making progress out of the 5 years I've been practicing this. This is like basically one of my first days mewing, and I remember like I always was insecure with like my face and my jawline and everything, and I was at the point in my life where I was changing my body, you know, working out, bodybuilding, powerlifting, getting into the health and everything. So yeah, I was very insecure about my face, even though like I had a good physique and everything. So that's when I went to YouTube, and randomly I just came across Mewing, which was developed by John and Mike Mew, and this was when like nobody really knew what mewing was. Now it's sort of like a meme where it's like, you know, it's like everybody knows what it is. So mewing is essentially where you put your tongue on the roof of your mouth, and that's your natural posture. So if you say like king, like the word king, you hold up the NG sound and the tongue's gonna stay up. So like, look at my jawline here, right? King. And you just breathe in through your nose, and you're always breathing through your nose. So when you're not mewing, under your chin starts to sag, and then watch when I do start, it gets a lot more tight. So that's essentially what mewing is. And at first I was a little bit of a mouth breather, and I had closed airways, and I had braces growing up. And braces, what they do is they sort of compress your facial structure inwards. They give you the rubber bands, and instead of expanding your mouth to fit teeth, they basically just push everything inwards. So it's not really good for your skull. But this is what my side like jawline looked like, and you could see it didn't really have much of a jawline. It was blending with my neck a lot, and that made me really unhappy and insecure. But I was still putting in my progress. At one point I looked like this. This was like, I don't even know how I look like this. Like, oh man, I just look like lifeless. But yeah, I was doing anything just to show the progress, and I highly recommend, if you're gonna go on this journey, like take pictures even if it embarrasses you, because you're gonna look back and you're like, wow. So yeah, I remember at this point in my life I was so excited telling people about mewing, and I found out, like, I felt like I had struck gold and found this holy grail on the internet. Like I said, nobody knew what this was at the time. I found it super early. I got lucky, and I was telling all my friends about it, and they were like, no, you can't change your bone structure, that's just genetic, that's impossible. And I was getting roasted by my friends and everything. So I was like, okay, watch me. And I literally made this like a conscious practice every day, where it was like the gym for me in a way. Like I would have like time where I would like do hard mewing, which is like trying to press up your tongue hard, like just like that, and just really try to force the tongue up. And at the beginning, if you have a closed facial structure like I did, your tongue's not gonna have a lot of room to rest at the top of the mouth. So you sometimes do have to like force it to open up over time. Don't overdo it. But I was doing that, but every day I was conscious of where my tongue was. I was setting reminders on my phone and everything. So this was like a big part of my life. So that's why now sometimes I show people this transformation, and some people still might doubt it, but I'm like, you weren't there to see the work that I put in. Just like going to the gym, like you only see the results. You don't see how conscious I was and how religious I was with this. And I think I was too religious, because it's definitely making me like very self-conscious. And then at this point, I want to make this clear. At this point, I was bulking from the gym, and I think I dropped around 15 to 20 pounds from August 19th, 2019 to June 2nd, 2020. So almost a year, but you can still see like it's not just weight loss. That's another excuse that non-believers might have, but you can still see that my facial structure is pretty small. There's not a lot of like jaw definition going on. There's not a lot of jaw muscles on the side. Like now, if you look at me, like my face looks a lot more square and defined than it did here. But another thing besides you guys doing is I was doing wide smiling and swallowing. So it's called like the cheesy smile. But you basically smile ear to ear, like, and then you try to isolate your tongue to swallow. You don't want to use your cheeks. You just want to. So you practice getting a sip of water, like this. And that gets you used to your tongue sweeping up all the saliva and water and food and swallowing that way. So first thing is mewing, second thing is swallowing, and the force of the tongue from the swallowing is going to help expand your jaw. So that's another thing that's worked for me. And then the third thing that's worked for me has been chewing. So you'll see, like at this time I started to chew more because you start to see these little cheek muscles, the masseters, develop, and they weren't here in the previous picture, especially not here. They're missing. So I started chewing hard gum, like mastic gum, phallium gum, hard foods, and chewing thoroughly, right? Chewing your food to mush before swallowing, and then trying to utilize that swallowing motion and not sucking your cheeks, because that's just going to make your cheeks more bloated. So this is almost the same setting, almost the same shirt, only a 1 month difference. But this is like a 1 year difference, and this one's incredible because you could just see the difference in my cheeks, like the way my eyes sit, the way my eyebrows look too, and you can start seeing my structure like really come into its genetic potential, I would say. And this is like, I felt way more confident about myself here. So, and then this is like pretty much currently here. So my face hasn't changed that much in the past year because I've been pretty happy with it. I'm not at the point where I feel like I really need to practice moving that much, but I still do I do feel like there is an imbalance on my right side where it sometimes it's harder just to like swallow mucus. Sometimes mucus gets stuck on my right side. So I am trying to make some changes over time and just mainly chewing, getting my jaw muscles bigger and stronger. And also I've been doing like facial massages, like massaging around the masseters and the throat, you know, getting the what do you call it, the lymph nodes, like flushing out everything, and it's really good for that. And the lymph nodes is basically like your it's the lymphatic system, which is basically your body's natural drainage, and it flushes out all the toxins out of your body. So it starts like at the head and goes down to your legs and everything. So I use facial massage as a way to relax the jaw and to get the lymph nodes working, and it releases a lot of tension, which helps with mewing a lot, because it is important to know if you're mewing all the time and you're chewing all the time, your jaw is going to be very tight, and it might be more painful, there might be more tension, but also it's not going to be able to allow space to open up if your jaw is tight all the time. So I'd recommend doing some facial massages. You can even look up like face yoga, like face stretches. I would like sometimes like try to like yawn. That's another thing. And then massage the temples too, massage the head, because when you're working at the gym, you want to stretch your muscles that you're working. So same thing with the face. But anyways, yeah, I just wanted to make a quick video on here. I know it wasn't the most organized or anything, but I did want to show you guys my journey, and hopefully this inspires you guys out there to challenge yourselves and change what you thought was impossible. So yeah, this has made a big difference in my life. It's not the key to making you more confident, but it will help when you're more confident with your face. But it's another layer of self-improvement that I think everybody should get to if they're insecure with how they look. And that's going to open up doors for other things you want to change about yourself. until you become just an overall whole confident man or woman if you're watching this, or human being. So anyways, thanks for watching.